Seahawks came home last night with a 24-13 victory over the 49ers. Jimmy Graham set a franchise record for touchdowns by a tight end. Unfortunately, the Hawks lost another tight end, Luke Wilson, who left the game with a concussion. Here to help us break down the rest of the action, please welcome back co-host of the Barbershop and former UW running back, Terry Hollimon. How are you?
Oh, I'm extra great today.
How'd that Apple Cup go for you?
Oh, it was the most incredible feeling to watch those Huskies put that beat down on those Cougars, our little brothers. You guys know it? Yes.
So your Barbershop co-host is a little-known Seahawk, Marcus Trufant.
Barely know him.
Barely, yeah. And he's a Coug.
He is,
and so
unfortunately.
Did you rub it in? Did you take it easy on him? Because
No.
this has been many in a row.
No, you know what I did, actually, is we have the Barbershop social media, the Twitter account. I took over the Twitter account.
Yes.
And I started posting everything Husky, so many things. So many jokes I shot at him from the Barbershop Twitter. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Now?
I think the Huskies just scored again. It's Monday morning, and they scored again, Marcus.
Has he taken it well, or have you seen him yet today?
He doesn't answer my calls or
see.
respond to any of my text messages.
Well, just, give him a moment.
I'll give him a hug.
Give him a moment.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get the bad stuff out of the way first. Luke Wilson with a concussion. We never really know how long that takes, right?
No. They're really taking that very seriously now in the NFL.
And they should.
It's the concussion protocol, and they send you through a series of tests, and you have to meet with the doctors and trainers throughout the week. I listened to Pete Carroll earlier today, and he did say that they expect to have him back this weekend, so it's not that serious for him.
All right, well, wish him well with his noggin. And then Josh Forrest, a foot sprain.
Yeah, I think that's...
He's a linebacker?
Yeah, but he should be okay. They expect to have him back as well, but the linebacking core is in good shape and good condition.
Okay, let's talk about the good stuff. Well, first of all, that whole first half was rubbish, and I was very frustrated. But then let's just spin straight ahead to the second half. Russell Wilson, what can you say?
Russell Wilson's absolutely playing out of his mind football right now.
He's doing things nobody's ever done.
He's done things that I personally have never seen a quarterback do. He's able to will this team to victory every single time they get out on the field. He, in my opinion, right now is playing MVP football. He's the most valuable. Without Russell Wilson, this Seahawks team, I don't know, they might be a 500 team at best.
But he does these, his escapability is unreal. He's making these bizarre throws while he's up in the air.
Yeah.
He's up in the air.
He's just such a physical specimen. And other than the fact that he's just so mentally on top of his game, you're able to see him do things in his escapability. And it's just like, how does he do that? It's not even the fact that he's just getting away from the defenders. I'm seeing him break tackles, and he's showing extreme lower body strength. And like, you never see a quarterback do some of the things that he does.
He's amazing. Jimmy Graham, so he's set a record for most TDs by a tight end.
Jimmy Graham has obviously watched the show, and he set out to make. He's obviously set out to make a fool of me, because I said earlier in the season that we should. The Jimmy Graham experiment is over. I feel today Jimmy Graham is absolutely irreplaceable to this team. You see the things that they're able to do now with the touchdowns that he's able to put up. Right now, Jimmy Graham, believe it or not, is the second leading touchdown receiver in the National Football League, and this past weekend has become the all-time leading tight end receiving touchdowns in the Seattle Seahawks franchise history.
That's just
Jimmy,
amazing.
thank you, man. I appreciate you for watching the show and
he
listening
just
to
needed
me.
some motivation.
Yeah,
he heard you and he said, "That's it.
Tough
I'm not
love.
taking that."
Tough love from Seahawks.
Nick Vannett. What happened with him? He looks so happy.
Listen, he caught his first touchdown pass in the National Football League. I was so happy for the kid. It was just amazing to watch him. He had a couple drops early, and he made up for it, and it's just to see him do his thing. I was talking about this yesterday with a friend of mine, and I said, if you would have flashed forward, if you had a time machine to go back to August, and you said that we'd have a guy named Nick Vannett, and we'd have a guy named Byron Maxwell and Jeremy Lane and Bradley McDougall, and these guys would be the cornerstones of the Seahawks team, you would think I was crazy. You would be like, no, go back to the future. You're talking crazy. But that's where we're at right now, and we're looking like those are the young guys that are going to be pushing us forward.
And we need them.
Yeah.
The D.
Yeah, the defense, again, was very incredible, led by Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner is just an amazing. When I talked about Russell Wilson being the MVP of the NFL, I think Bobby Wagner is without question not only the most prolific linebacker playing football right now, I think he's a definite candidate for a Defensive Player of the Year. He had 8 tackles 2 tackles for loss, an interception I think that changed the momentum of the game early on and set the tone for that defense. And it was just, Bobby Wagner is, again, out of his mind.
He's so good so much of the time, all the time really, that I think we take him for granted. But go get that jersey,
Absolutely.
54. And then, speaking of amazing things, John Ryan, who is the longest tenured Seahawk on the team, had his birthday yesterday and kicked a 74-yard
punt. John Ryan has been...
What?
He has been, outside of Russell Wilson, the most consistent Seahawk this year. And over the course of the last several years, you just count on him to do his job every single weekend, week in and week out. He's able to change the field position for the Seahawks, put the defense in a great position where they're not fighting from their own end of the field. And it's just, he's just so incredibly good. Man.
That field position is so important. We have a photo of John on his last appearance here. This was Halloween, and this was Sunday morning, John, he said.
What kind of costume does John have on? That's not a real costume.
John has on what he would look like on Sunday morning after or a Monday morning after a Sunday party, I think was what he said. So something like that.
John Ryan just as John Ryan? Yeah. He's so incredibly creative there.
He can do whatever he wants to do. We love him to pieces, and that's just amazing. Okay, now we have the Eagles next, and they're like amazingly good, and I don't even know how that happened. It just sort of came out of nowhere.
They have put some things together over there in Philadelphia.
9 consecutive wins.
9 consecutive wins. These guys have an incredible receiving core with Torrey Smith, Alshon Jeffries. These guys are out there making plays every single weekend. They got a running back by committee over there led by LeGarrette Blount and A.J. Ajayi that they picked up from Miami earlier in the season. These guys are going to be tough to beat. Their defensive front is absolutely strong. They're going to be getting after Russell Wilson, and they're going to really put our offensive line to the test. And so I hope we're able to come up with something. I have complete faith in Pete and what he's going to be able to put together this weekend for these guys. It's going to be a primetime game. It's going to be exciting. And it's unfortunate that the Seahawks are, for the very few times that they are ranked as far as they're underdogs going into this game at home, and so the Seahawks are going to put together a good. It's going to be. They're going to have to put together a really good effort. I think the way that they played this past weekend is going to set the tone for these guys this week. They're going to get some good momentum going. They'll get some guys back healthy. We saw some flashes from the running game this past weekend, and hopefully
McKissick played well.
J.D. McKissick is absolutely playing well. He's in my opinion, he's the best out of the guys that they have on the active roster right now.
I like seeing him out there. And you know what? We rise to the because I'm on the team. Rise to the occasion. Do you think we'll make the playoffs? We, meaning the Seahawks?
It all depends. I think that they're going to have to win.
That is not an answer.
It is an answer. I learned that from Marcus Truffaut. Marcus has he's the ultimate politician. He plays the fence. He doesn't like to rub too many people the wrong way. Yeah, well, it all depends. No, I think that if they're able to win at least 3, probably 4 out of the next 5 games, they have a shot. But the destiny is in their own hands. If they can win out from the rest of the way, they got the tough game against Philadelphia this weekend. They have to beat the Los Angeles Rams here. They have an opportunity to go ahead and win.
That's going to be a tough game, too. And a shout-out to Paul Richardson as well. He's so fun to watch, and he's learned to get down before they cream him, which is really great. The Seahawks return to CenturyLink Field for a major Sunday night football matchup against the league-leading Philadelphia Eagles. Kickoff is scheduled for 5:30. You can watch the game here on King 5. Those Eagles have not seen Russell Wilson yet. Still ahead. Oh, wait a second.
Oh, I was just showing y'all my Pac-10 championship ring, Apple Cup.
He's just not quite done celebrating.
I'm not yet. I got at least another weekend.
An amazing holiday getaway set of options within Washington State after this.